back again. I am so proud of you for pushing play, making it to the end of the week, day 4, your final strength training workout for the week. How are you feeling? Are you sore? Do you need to go a little bit lighter, back off on your weights? Or are you feeling good, ready to push, ready to lift something challenging? So I have my weights set out in front of me, finally, better organized for this workout. Nothing heavier than 20s, right? Really, the heavy lifting is going to come in, I should use air quotes for heavy lifting, right? It's not going to necessarily be our heaviest day, but it is targeted to the back of the body and your posture. We're going to focus on single leg deadlifts, which means the weight isn't going to be as heavy as what we did for deadlifts when both feet were on the ground. So I've got some 20s, some 15s, some 12s, even some 8s in case I need them. Your spread might look very different, so just make sure you've got some options ready to go, not necessarily on the heavy end. So let's start with a warm-up. Today we are coming down on the floor, hands under shoulders, knees underneath your hips. You're gonna arch up like a cat, and then inhale, lengthen. Let that tailbone go. Even let that chin stick out, right? Exhale, drawing that belly in. Inhale as you lengthen. So we're just gonna warm up the back because that really is the big focus here today. Good, one more. And let's bring fingertip to temple, exhale, bring your elbow into the opposite arm. Good, really opening up. I like to push the floor away, give myself a little leverage there. Just reminding the body what to do. One more. And then switch sides. Inhale, exhale, right? Really connecting that breath as we open up through the upper back, your ribs, expanding through the lungs. One more. And now, tuck your toes. Exhale, lift your knees up out of the floor, coming into that bear position. Take a breath in, and then let it out. Again, inhale at the bottom. Exhale, draw that belly in just to hover, pushing the floor away. And then inhale to let go. Good, we'll do 3 more here, this being number 3. So we're warming up through your core, your upper body, right? Those shoulders, that back, even your core, your abs. And release. Take 1 foot forward, tuck your hip as you sink forward. If you want, you can elevate those arms, and then we're sinking those hips back. Good, inhale, lengthen up, press hips forward, and exhale, press back. Figure I might as well be able to see you, or at least have you be able to see me. Good, if you've been sitting at a desk all day, or even if you're hitting this first thing in the morning, but you're getting out of bed, right? This is gonna help open up those hips, open up through the back of the body. Good, let's switch sides. Inhale, reach forward, and then exhale, pull those hips back. Look, if you can't get to the ground, that's fine, right? Just bring your hands to your hips. That works as well. Nice. Now, getting that length is gonna help us achieve a better range of motion and help us get better muscle activation. So making the work we do high quality, so it counts, right? All right, we are coming up, grabbing, I'm gonna start like a moderate weight, not my lightest, not my heaviest, single leg deadlift with a wide arm row. I'm gonna start with my 12s, probably could go but I'm gonna give myself something to build off of. Same leg as arm, steps back like a kickstand. I'm going to push my hips back just a little bit in the knee into that deadlift. If you need support, hand on your thigh. Pull the elbow high and wide to the ceiling, lower, and drive that heel down to stand. Now I'm gonna turn, sending those hips to the wall. You don't need to turn, but I wanted you to see this, right? Good, pushing those hips back. Pull that elbow high and wide. So this is a little bit of a combo move, right? And that's a good thing. So we're engaging the glute, the hamstring, all the way up like an X to the opposite shoulder. That's gonna work our posture. Now do a little leg check. Make sure all that weight is in your front leg, right where we want it. Good, check your chin. I know I'm looking at the camera, right? You're probably looking at the screen. Good, and let's switch sides. So step in, step back, switch hands, drop back. Now notice, I'm not going like all the way down to the floor, right? I'm aiming parallel to the floor where my back can tolerate it. Keeping just a little bend in that knee so I'm not locking out, but I'm driving the glute forward. Good. Now, I should do a better job of keeping that weight sliding up my thigh. Whew, I don't know about you, but my leg is shaking. Trying to keep those hips square. If you need to, put your hand on your hip. Last one. And stand. Now, because we did a combo move, I'm not gonna throw anything else at you for the moment. We're gonna take just a quick break, 30 seconds, and then we will be right back into the work. Now, this isn't the biggest mover, the heaviest driver of your heart rate, but you're gonna see it start to elevate over the rounds as we work that lower body and upper body with very minimal rest. That is why we're able to get such great results out of 20 minutes, right? We're not working harder, we're not working longer, we're working smarter. All right, step one foot back. Now, if you feel like you need more support, just step that both feet underneath you. Hip back and pull. Now, working one side at a time, you might feel one side more than the other, right? That's what we call unilateral training, one side at a time. So you might feel one side more than the other, most likely because, well, that side needs to be a little stronger, right? It's not quite as strong as the other side that doesn't necessarily feel the move as much. One more, and then we are switching sides. Squeeze those glutes to stand up, and let's switch. Drive back, pull that elbow all the way up to the ceiling. So you'll notice now that we're into it, I'm going a little bit quicker, right? Not racing through it, but I've got a little flow, if you will. Whew. Feeling that heat in the back leg. Again, do that little check. Make sure that you're not resting on those back toes. It's just a little kickstand, right? Just to help with your balance. Two more. Keeping those abs drawn in. Chest lifted even in that last rep. Good. All right. We've got another 30-second break. We'll do one more round before we get into your next superset. Definitely have that heart rate up into that cardiovascular zone, even though we're not doing traditional cardio, right? I don't need to do step touches and knees, right? We can get a strength training effect while we're getting that cardiovascular system going too. All right, no need to up that weight for me this round. If you've got it in you to go heavier, please be my guest, even if it means you finish a few reps before me. All right, squaring those hips, drop and pull. Good. I'm on a bit of a race against the sun, all right? So I don't know if you can tell, but it's about sunset here in San Diego. So I am trying to get this video done for you because I use all this beautiful natural light. It also means I can't film at night, even though I wish I could, because it would be a lot nicer, a lot cooler. All right, we are switching sides. This is the last time you need to do this move, at least this week, right? So next week, you are going to start over. Hit play again on day one, right? We don't always need to constantly be switching up the moves. What we need is progressive overload. What does that mean? Well, we need to learn how to do the moves, right? This is a workout you could repeat over and over, just adjusting your weight as you get stronger, as these moves feel easier, right? Maybe 3 weeks from now, if you hit play on this after doing it for 3 weeks, well, maybe you could grab the 15s, right? Whew. All right, legs feeling shaky. We are coming down to the ground. Your superset is a bridge with pullover and a plank pull through. Here's what that looks like. Grabbing, I'm actually going to use the same weight that I used for that high pull for my pullover. Right? So starting with that weight, center of chest, arms straight. It's not the skull crusher. So I'm going to keep my elbows straight as my weight extends back overhead. Look at how long my arms are. Then squeeze your armpits to come up, right? The weight doesn't need to touch the floor, right? But get close to it. Then we will flip over into a plank pull through. So I'm going to start with the weight by my left arm, taking the feet wider than my shoulders. I'm going to pull the weight from one side to the other while keeping my hips still. But I'm using that arm to pull. All right, if that feels like it's too much, you just drop to your knees or you hold your plank while we're doing our weights. Okay, flipping over, I'm starting with that 12. I might be able to graduate to the 15. We are going to find out. Now, you can stay flat on the floor if you want a little more work for the back of the body. You're up into a bridge, extending overhead. Then exhale, push those hips up even higher as that weight comes over center of chest. Now, if you're like, wait, what is going on? Just drop your hips. Just work it, focus on the back of your body. Good. Just watch the tendency, if you're in that bridge, that you start high, but you end down low. So keep those hips up nice and high. Good. 2 more. Why not? All right, we are going to drop those hips, weight down, flip it over. We've got 10 pulls. Take your feet wide, moving that weight side to side. Now I'm gonna do 10. Maybe you're doing 5, right? You don't necessarily have to move quickly. Nice. See if you can pick that weight up off the floor and move it. Good. Last one. Coming on down. I'm gonna try the 15s. This could be a total disaster, all right? I have no idea. There's only one way to find out. All right, not necessarily the biggest driver for that heart rate, but we are using a lot of muscles and working a lot of intensity. So roll over, pick up that weight, straighten your arms. If you want the bridge, add it. Straighten those arms and then squeeze up. Oh, I think I found my weight right here. Keep driving through those heels. Keep pulling that belly in, right? Exhale as you pull that weight up. Last one. And let's flip it over. Bend, release. And time to move that weight side to side. Now remember, if you need to, do this from your knees, right? You might even find that you feel it more. Just think about keeping your chest between your thumbs. So we're not back here, right? We want to keep those hips in line with your shoulders, or maybe even a little lower. Staying focused until the very end. All right, one more round here. Whew. So if you're feeling that heart rate, right, don't be surprised if you are. That is my sneaky programming. That is my sneaky exercise selection, balancing upper and lower body. That's why even lying down, I'm like, so focus on that exhale. Let it out. Inhale, see if you can hold it for a second before you let it out slowly. All right, flipping over, last round here. Gotta get my pony out of the way. All right, driving those hips up if you're going for that option. Reaching back and then squeezing up. Can you hear my breathing? Right, that focus is really gonna help you engage your core, right? Core is more than just abs. It's your glutes, it's your back, lower back, upper back. Sorry, that's me knocking. One more. Last time around with that plank pull through. All right, you know your options. Knees if you need it, toes if you got it. Reaching across and pulling through. Staying focused. I know. I'm trying to set my weight down lightly, but it doesn't really sound like it. Oh my goodness. Drop to your knees. Shake those arms out. Time to wrap it up with abs, with core. We're going to start on our side, elbow under shoulder for a side plank, a hip lift. So I'm going to start on my knee, lifting those hips up. Hand can be on your hip, hand can be here. We're going to lower those hips down and then drive up. Good. Exhale as you bring those hips up. Now, if you want, or if you can, maybe that's a better question, you can straighten both legs. We're getting really into those obliques. One more, and let's come on to our backs. Don't worry, we're gonna do the other side. But first, a dead bug. Exhale, draw your belly in, lower back towards the floor. You're gonna press your right palm into your right thigh into your right palm, and then extend on the left. Good, switch. Press with your palm, press with your thigh, you're adding that tension, and then bring it in. Now, if that tension is too much, right, reduce, okay? Now notice, I'm not going down to the floor, I'm only going to the point where I can keep my lower back down into the floor. Good, exhale as you reach. Inhale to come in. One more each side. Ooh. Core burning. All right, we're gonna flip it over, go into those hip lifts on the other side. So elbow under shoulder, create that L, palm down if you need to. Extend up, we're gonna drop and lift. Good. So sometimes these are done where people start here and then they try and go higher. I want you to work this lower range. You can squeeze those inner thighs.
Mom, why are you shaking?
Can you hear Stella? She's wondering why I'm shaking. Because I'm working hard. She's my little sidekick for this final ab series. All right, right back into that dead bug. Exhale, and then inhale to come in. Good. Now, if you find your lower back is coming off the mat, can you see that? Right? Just means that leg is going too low. Maybe you need to send it up higher to the ceiling.
Ceiling up there.
All right, we are going to flip it over. One more round. One more round. Right? We are just getting warmed up to the good stuff. Check. Do you need to have that knee down? Or can you take the challenge up on your toes? Look, in this first round of the workout, maybe not, maybe you're staying on your knees, but the next time you hit play, or a few weeks into push and play, then you'll come up onto your toes, right? Always the next level, always the next challenge. Exhale, inhale. Pressing, palm into thigh, thigh into palm. Trying to keep those abs in, nice and flat, right? Gravity is on our side, which isn't always the case. So I'll take it when I can get it. Last one. All right, all you gotta do is finish with those hip lifts. Last side, elbow under shoulder. We got this, up and drop. All right, I'm gonna do the first few on my knees, but I'm gonna take the challenge. I did it on the other side. Gotta even it up. Last one. You did it. We made it together. Thank you so much for hitting play on all 4 workouts. I hope you feel so proud of yourself for sticking to a promise that you made to you. You deserve to be a priority in your life. Let's stretch it out. I'm just gonna take an easy cross-legged position and bring one arm up and over, stretch the side. Are you gonna do this one with me? Yeah? My little sidekick. Oh, we look cute in our matching colors. We didn't even plan that. Well, I shouldn't say they're matching, like not twinning, matchy-matchy. But they go. They're like the same brightness level. You know? We are, let's take a child's pose. Do you know what that is? Hips back, over your heels. This way.
That's a cat pose.
That's a cat pose. Now we're going to come up, thread the needle. You're gonna drop one elbow down, look towards those fingers. Feel that stretch through your upper back. It's not fair, you're so flexible. And then switch sides. Does that even feel like a stretch?
No.
No, of course not, why would it? All right, let's come up to standing. You're just uber flexible. We've got a hamstring stretch. So shift your weight back. Yeah. But for you, it probably doesn't feel like a stretch, huh?
It feels like a little one.
A little stretch. Okay, thank you for doing this one for us. All right, high